Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to my first English tutorial. First of all, I want to say sorry for my really bad English. I hope it's okay for you and you are able to understand what I want to show you in this tutorial. So, I want to show you in this tutorial how we can create a nice effect, an audio react effect with Trapcode Particular and Adobe After Effects CS6 or also CS5 if you have this version. Yes, you will see how you can make the particles move with the bass from the music. Okay, here are a couple of examples how could look this in the finish. So okay, now I'm gonna show you how to create this effect, but if you don't want to create this effect, you can easily send me your email address at private message at YouTube, and so I'm able to send you this AEP files and you can easily download it and yeah, put it on your After Effects with Trapcode. And so you have this effect and can use it for your music. Okay? But you have to send me your email address and write which effect you want. We have in German Möglichkeit 1, 2, 3, 5 or 5. So write to me, hey Andreas, Andrew, I want to have the effect Möglichkeit 1 and write your email address, and then I send you the file and you can do with it what you want. Okay, first of all we create a new composition. We don't need a lot of frames, 30 frames are okay, and yes, a length of 2 minutes, it's okay. Okay, now we have here our composition and here our song. I use this song, you can use the song whatever you want. So we put it into the project and drop it on the timeline. So now we make a right click on the object and go on keyframe assistant and audio to keyframes conversion. So and now we have this audio amplitude, and this is the important file. We could delete this audio file, but we need it later to hear the song. here's the song. Okay. So now if we have the effect options of the audio amplitude, you see we have three, in German we call it Schieberegler, left channel, right channel, boost channels, and so these are the important things, the important options. Okay, now we will create the Trapcode particular effect. We create a new solid, and you can create what you want with Trapcode particular. I create an example how could look it. You don't have to do the same options, the same effect. You can do what you want, and this is a cool thing at this effect. You can do what you want, and finally add this effect at your Trapcode particular. Okay, we go at the solid and go under effects, Trapcode particular. So here we have the particles. Okay, so now I'm gonna add some effects so it look pretty better. Yes, so we gonna go under emitter, and I only play around with these options, and you can also do it. Play around with the effects, with the options, and do what you want. If you think it looks good, then it's okay. Now I think I put the velocity on 20, do a little bit rotation in the x-axis of 90%. Now I maybe under the air add some wind, so we have a cool wind, a blow effect. Yes, and yeah. So maybe it's worse. If you think it's cool, then it's okay. No, I find it a little bit boring, and so yes, put the size down to 1, the life second to 1, but make a lot more particles, so we have a cool dust effect, and I like it because there are a lot of particles and it looks pretty cool. So, but not white, it's I want to have more colors than one, so I get it over live, and yes, play around with these options, but I find it pretty cool. I think it's okay so, and yes, the size went on. No, I think it's not okay. It's a nice effect, but at these options, not the best. The air resistance is a cool effect, but yeah, also not the best. It's maybe a little bit. The spin amplitude also no effect, which I want to use now, but the spin frequency we use later, and the turbulence field and the spherical field, this will be later important for our audio react. So now at first the turbulence field, yes, it's a cool effect. I like this effect. There are some places where a little bit less or more particles, and this spin, the effect position, it's also a pretty cool effect. Yeah, okay, but a little bit less. Yeah, and so you see I only play around with these options, and you can also do this until you find it good. So no? if you think it's okay, then it's okay. Okay. Now we have a pretty cool effect. We go in the spherical field, and now you see we have a circle, and now we have to put it on the right position. But these effects, the spherical field, we use for our audio amplitude, for your audio react. Okay, first of all, I call the solid particle, in German particle, and now we go under the audio amplitude and go on boost channels and on the Schieberegler. We make it editable. So, and now we go under the emitter and hold down Alt, and with the left click we press the snail, the watch, the clock, and now we left click, drop the snail to the Schieberegler at the boost channels, and now you see we have a effect, so the particles move with the bass, but it's not a good position, so we don't go on the transform and the position, these positional options, because we have a cut, but we go under word transform and the XY offset, not the rotation, the XY offset, and put it to maybe 300 and 300, and so we have the effect in the maybe a little bit in the middle of the field. So okay, I'm gonna to render this movie, but it's important we have at the composition options a frame rate of 30, and so we have to put these frame rate also to 30 frames per second. Because otherwise we have a little bit too fast or too slow sound. Okay, I'm gonna render it and we see you later. Okay, now here we have these render options. You see it's a pretty cool effect. We have at every bass we have a pull down of the frames. They move down and it looks pretty cool, but in my opinion this this move with the frames, this move down, it's a little bit too little, too less. So how we can make this option a little bit harder? We go at these effects, this text, and now we go behind the staples or between the staples and the comma, and now we press asterisk button and maybe 10. So we have this effect by 10. Okay, so we have 10, this effect 10 times. I don't know how to say it, and so we have a lot stronger effect. So now you see we have a lot harder effect. At every bass we have this pull down, the drop down, a lot of harder. We have here a bass kick, and yes, it's a lot of harder effect. So I'm gonna show you how it could look it. Yes, here we have it. You see at every bass kick it's a lot of harder effect, and so it look pretty better in my opinion. Yes, pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna save it under Möglichkeit 1 and save it as project 1. Okay. So now, but in our example movie, we have this circle which gets bigger with every bass kick. So moment, we'll see it. Here we have this cycle which with every bass kick gets bigger. So now how we create this effect? It's pretty easy. So we go under our particle options and under our physics, air, and the spherical field. So here we have the radius, the strength, and now if I pull up the strength, you see there a couple of particles move. So this is okay, and now we move the cycle at the right position where we want to have it. I put it here, okay. So, and now this is what we have to do now. We have here the radius, and now again hold down Alt and left click on the watch, on the clock, and this nail, wrong way, drop it on the boost channels on the Schieberegler. Okay, and now we have this radius put on the on the bass, but the effect is a lot of too little, too less, and now again write this behind the text, and yes, so we have a lot of harder effect, and we see there are the bass kicks and the radius move with the bass kicks. Okay, and I save it under Möglichkeit 1, project 1, 1. Okay. Okay, so this is the first effect. Here you see it rendered, and it looks pretty cool in my opinion. Yes, and this is all you have to know about this effect. Maybe the radius is a little bit too big, so I could write maybe 8 or what I want, but this is in your opinion what you want to have. So I'll look again at these. Yes, we see here the cycle is not so big, and you also see the particles also move with the bass. Not only the cycle, also the particles. Now how we create this effect? It's also pretty easy. I only have to find the right effect, because we have a lot of effects and I don't know which is the right one which I used in the example. This is not right, the air resistance. It's a cool effect, but we can't use it because we have no watch. So the spin amplitude, it's also not right. The turbulence field, not this, but the effect position. This is the effect I used in the example. So again, hold down Alt. Here you see the effective position. Hold down Alt and left click at the watch. Click on the snail and drop it to our Schieberegler at the boost channels. So, and now, but we see there are no difference between the movie before. If I render it, you see it. here there's no difference. The particles don't move. The reason is the effect is not big enough. And so easily again we go after these text and write by 10 in, or maybe by 20, and so we have the particles also move with the best, all particles. So, and this is finally the effect which I showed you in the example. Maybe not by 20, by 15 it's okay. And so now I save it under project 1, 2. Okay, this is our first effect. Our second effect, so I have to look which effect I had at Möglichkeit 2. Here we have the movie. I'll only short look which effect is it. So you see my computer is a lot too slow. Sorry for that, I have to buy a new. Okay, but we see the last seconds. Okay, that's that's already enough. Yes, how we create this effect? It looks similar to the first effect. Yes. No, but what's the different? So okay, first of all I put down the wind and so we have a new pretty cool effect. It's looks pretty cool. And you see, only play with the options and so we have a new nice effect. Okay, and now so we for the new effect here you see if I pull down the velocity, it's again a new nice effect. And I said again, only play around with these options and you can add some really cool stuff. Okay, so now how we create this effect? First of all we have to delete the position XY. This is the important thing. So we only delete the text and put it on a position what we want. Yes, okay. It's also look pretty cool, but it's not that what I want. First of all I have to pull up the velocity a little bit, maybe to 20, and yes, maybe put it a little bit to the left side. So, and this is the second effect. Maybe add a little bit more wind and delete the effect position, so we have the not so many turbulence, because in the second effect these are not there. Again, sorry for my really bad English. I hope you understand what I want to tell you. Okay, maybe put the position XY a little bit more to the left side and the life second to maybe 3. Okay, and now we go to our spherical field and the radius. It's okay, but the position should be a little bit more up, and the radius, yes, we see in our example the radius in the example is not so big how in our composition which we have now here, and so easily write down the radius maybe to 5. Okay, and so you see we easily have the new effect. So maybe it's strange if we put it to negative 100 we have a new nice effect. It's look pretty cool, but I don't want these, maybe the strength to, yeah, I let it at 100. Yes, maybe the feather not this. Okay, so yeah, it's by you what you want to do. It's your possibility. Do what you want. That's the cool at this effect. You can only make what you want. So maybe add some scale a little bit and Octave, whatever it is. So I already said it. It's an effect. I like it. Yes, okay. And so now I render it, and you see the particle move at one position with the bass. Okay, maybe write it to 8. Yes, okay. And yes, this is it. Maybe the strength a little bit harder. And yeah, let's the radius by 5. And yes, so we have these effects are in the example. Maybe put down the feather. I said it again. Do what you want. Play around with the options. Okay, I save it to the Möglichkeit 2 project 1. Okay, there are not a lot of difference between the second and the third option. First of all, we have to delete the text at the radius. Okay, and pull down the pull up the radius a little bit, so how you want. So this is okay. Maybe the strength a little bit higher, the feather. Well, no, I think it's okay. Yes, go at the emitter, maybe a couple of more particles. Yeah, and this was it. We only have to maybe add the, not the effect size, the effect position. We again hold down Alt and pull down the snail to the boost channel, the Schieberegler. And now I'm gonna show you, I render it here. We have it, and see the particles move in a cycle and move with the bass. And this is our second effect. It's pretty easy if you have the, it's our third effect, sorry. It's pretty easy to create if we have our second effect to also to create the third effect. Okay. Now our first effect, we have to, yes, pull down the radius, the strength to 0 and the radius to 0, so the spherical field is off. And yes, now we can easily do with the position XY what we want. With keyframes we let it move around, yeah, maybe a little bit higher. So again, keyframe here, maybe a little higher. So I only move it around where I want to. And yes, okay, maybe here a little bit down. And so you see I only test a couple of options, and yes, our particles fly around. Yes, okay. But the problem is, first the particles fly around before the song begins. You cannot easily drop down the particles per second down, but I let it. So maybe the wind a little bit less. So we have a little bit less harder wind. Okay, it's effect position. Yes, it's important for this effect. Maybe make it a little bit harder, maybe to 10. Okay, and so you see the particles again move with bus, maybe a little bit hard, less, and yes, so it's already look pretty cool. Maybe to 2. Okay, so I let it. Maybe no, the scale is okay. The complexity also. Okay. Yes, okay, the air resistance is a pretty cool effect, but we can't use it or add it to our bass because there are no watch between the air resistance, so we can't use it for our effect. No, okay. But the velocity is the same like the air resistance, or almost the same. So we go under velocity and put it down to 0, and you see we have the same effect. So again, hold down Alt and put the snail to, yes, the Schieberegler at boost channels, and so we have this pretty cool effect. And you see, it's very easy to do something like this. Yes, that looks pretty cool. A little bit higher. Okay, a little bit more particles. Yes, and if I render it, you see it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And this is our Möglichkeit 4. Yes, I save it under Möglichkeit 4 Project 1. Okay. Okay, but now in my opinion the velocity is a bit too high. So now how we put it down? It's really easy. So we write slash and yes, maybe 4. And so we have a new effect. Okay, don't 4, maybe 3. And yes, so we have the same effect with a new version. And yes, also this looks pretty cool and maybe a little better in my opinion. Okay, and so I save it under Möglichkeit 4 Project 1.1. Okay, this is the Möglichkeit 4. Now how we can create our Möglichkeit 5. So first of all, we had only one color. First of all, I make it red, maybe. I will change it later. And then we create a new solid. Make it white, maybe. And make it 3D. After Effects say it's bad, but it's okay. And place the solid under our particle. Okay, and so the particles are seen, are showed. Okay. With F4 you change the two possible options. So, okay. Okay, we let it normal. Yes, and this is first of all. Maybe here we can change the make the particles bigger or smaller. I'll make some this okay. Yes, okay. Now we go under I call it want, in English wall. Yes, and you see if we change here the Z position, the wall come in front of our particles. So now we create a light, in German Licht, make it red maybe, but so our particles aren't seen, so we make our particles black. Okay, so it looks pretty cool in my opinion. Yes, but we don't have any shadow, so how we change it? First of all, we put the Wirfschatten, the shadow, on. Yeah. Okay, and now we have to change the material options of our particles and make the shadow, first shadow options on, in German Wirfschatten. And yes, put in your After Effects options all the same options like in my composition here. Maybe here, if you see, if we change the light options, the light direction, we have a small shadow on the wall behind of our particles. So now if we change the Z position of our light, you see we take the wall a little bit more behind, and then we have it, we scale it up a little bit, so okay. Yes, and this is it. Maybe make the Schattentiefe in German, put them a little bit down so the shadow is not so strong like the particles. Yes, that's it. I said it again, play around with the options and make it how you want. Okay, maybe the shadow should we make a little bit softer. We go again under our light, make the Schattentiefe in German a little bit down. So maybe at 50%. Yeah, so it looks pretty cool. You see here, if we take the last position, we have only a small light position. I don't know how to say it in English. If I put up the intensity a little bit, you see we have, yes, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean, or you saw it. Yes. Okay, and this is it. But if you see, if you want to have the wall in the color which you had created, maybe in this white, you only have to put out the options faint light in German. You have to see it what's in English, I don't know. Yes, and this is also a nice effect. Okay, so here we see it rendered. It's also a pretty nice effect with a shadow. Yeah, and this is it. Yes, okay, I hope it was helpful for you. And now noch one introduction for you. Okay, I save it under Möglichkeit 5. Maybe project 1. Okay. But if you download this, or you put this file into your composition at your After Effects, the problem is you want to have this effect at your music, not at my music, and so now you have to you have to change the audio amplitude to your music. So how you do it? It's really easy. First of all, you have to take your own music. So I take in this example own music, maybe Gangnam Style. Okay, so you drop it into your composition, go under project and drop it down in your composition. So, and now right click, keyframe assistant, audio to keyframes conversion. So you see it here. So, and now we have a new audio amplitude. Maybe I call it audio amplitude Gangnam. Okay. And now you have to, yes, it's it looks also pretty cool. Okay, first of all, you have to go under effects of our particles, and now change all where we have these tags. We have to delete it and drop it to your audio amplitude Schieberegler at Gangnam. So now put this snail and put it on the Schieberegler at audio amplitude Gangnam. This is what you have to change, and then the /3 right behind. And this you have to do with all your these tags where we had created. I hope you understand what I want to say. Okay, that it is. I hope it was helpful for you. Again, sorry for my really bad English. I hope it was okay. Okay, so I wish you a fine day, a lot of fun with these nice effects. Yeah. Okay. Write down under the as a comment if you think something was bad. Write it down, it would be helpful for me, so I know what I can do better. And additionally, if you have any question or something like this, write it as a comment so all can see what you ask me and see the answer, or if you want, write it as private message, so if I can, I will help you. Okay, then bye.